tell the guys, we're thin but mighty. Anybody's ever asked about our program over the last few years, I've been saying the same thing. And
Princeton's always been a tough football team. One thing about us is we're going to play tough. We love to hit. Hitting is like preached, and it's like the gospel in Princeton.
I don't want to have all these rules and all these things that you got to try and memorize. Just the word all in. All in.
Football is one of the greatest sports in the world.
It was certainly emotional, no doubt about it. It always is between us and Ocean City.
I don't like losing. The kids don't like losing. And I don't want to lose to the same team over and over and over again. We want to win a state championship.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cal One-on-One, presented by Ulmer's Appliance Service. I'm your host, Nick Kosko, as we keep going with our football season previews here for the 2025 campaign. And I'm pleased to be joined by Elijah Glover, who's just recently named the new Pleasantville head coach. Elijah, first of all, congratulations on the internal promotion, so to speak. But obviously, with the season just about a month away, you're in this new position at your alma mater. So first of all, just tell me a little bit about the reaction of you getting this job and the whole recent process this summer.
The reaction to it was just like, I don't know, surreal, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't something I really planned on. It was just something that came about. So really, it was just like a blessing from God, honestly. Mm-hmm. And this process right now, I mean, the days is going by fast to the start of the season, but my main thing is just staying ahead of everything as being who I am now, and then just getting better one day at a time as a team collectively.
What were some of those conversations like? So obviously you're taking over for Malachi Timberlake, who was there for the last few years, had a lot of success with Pleasantville. He's heading over to Temple University. He announced in the recruiting department. So when he brought this to your attention that this could be a possibility, especially not early in the offseason, this would be a quick transition, and then all of a sudden playing a game in a month. What were some of those conversations like with Malachi?
Really tough. I mean, like I said, it wasn't something that I expected to come about, but he let me know that he was moving on and that the position would be open. So I just applied for it and just said, if I get it, I'm gonna go all in with it, and if not, then it wasn't supposed to be, but it was to be. I mean, Malachi, me and him pretty close, so the conversations that we have is like conversations that we have daily, like how much we want to impact the community as far as football goes with the young men. So really not too many, like, wasn't really that tough of a conversation. It's just like things we talk about all the time as far as what can we do now for others without us actually playing the game for ourselves.
You had a very established high school career at Pleasantville. Of course, you went on to play college football at Villanova. So before I even get into that, it had to be interesting for you. Did you even envision yourself getting into coaching after your playing days? Did you plan on doing something else? Did it kind of fall into your lap? What was that initial process like for you as you became a coach, after your days over at Villanova?
So really, I went through something like after football, like I wanted to get as far away from the game as I could because I couldn't play anymore. Yeah. So that's just me being honest. I went to looking into medical device sales, but it never worked out. So yeah, really it wasn't my plan to get into coaching, but
so it's interesting you say that because you said you wanted to get away from the game of football, after your college career. You don't have to get into, details or whatnot, but you were drawn back to the game as a coach this time. So what have you learned over the last couple of years, since you've returned to the game of football?
Really that if something is for you, it's going to be for you. And if something's not, it's not. Like I said, I tried to get as far away from the game as I could after I graduated, but an opportunity had came up at Georgia Tech to intern for them for the strength and conditioning team. I mean, now that I'm an on the field coach, but I started in strength and conditioning, so I just took it with a leap of faith and moved to Georgia. I was 23 coaching 23-year-olds last year. I mean, it was an awkward space to be in, coaching guys that's the same age as you, or you just 5 months out, really. But after that, I went on to Baylor, and then I just found that strength and conditioning wasn't my thing. I really wanted to be a ball coach, so I came home, and I ended up helping out Malachi at the end towards the end of last season. So with everything I learned, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a coach. I'm just a
Yeah.
football coach. Like
Yeah.
I love football. So
Was it
like,
one of those self-discovery type things, especially, you're fresh out of college and you just mentioned, you're
mhm,
20 years old, you're coaching these guys that have been in programs for 4 or 5, even 6 years sometimes, and, you went
mhm.
across the country down, you mentioned Georgia Tech, over to Baylor as well, so you're seeing these, prime time, ACC and Big 12 type schools, and you're like, "I still wanna coach, but maybe I wanna, go down to the, maybe the high school level and give back that way." Is that what you kind of, discovered over the last, year plus?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's tough to get in coaching at a big school at that
Yeah,
level so young. I mean, when I first came out, a coach had suggested to me, maybe you should go like, maybe you should try to coach like D3 ball, or maybe you should even start off in high school if you really want to do this thing, because it's tough to get in like directly through coaching. I mean, that's
right.
part of the reason I started off going through strength and conditioning, trying to build my network and work my way through the weeds. But I wouldn't say it was something that I didn't know. My defensive
Mhm.
coordinators always told me like, I mean, I wasn't a great athlete. I mean, I was just smart, so I
Yeah,
could get people aligned and stuff like that. And he always told me like, the way you can put the defense, keep 11 as one out there. Like, I think you would be a pretty good coach. I mean, that's conversations that we had in like exit meetings, but
mhm,
I wasn't trying to hear that at that point in time. But we're
yeah,
here now.
yeah. So when you come back to Pleasantville last year, Malachi says, "You know what? I would love to have your help." And then you join at the tail end of last season. So
Mm,
when you get there, and again, you're going back to a familiar place for yourself, but it's in a different role where you're like, "Well, I'm not playing, and I'm kind of I'm new to these kids who have either if they don't know me, they've never met me before." So
mm.
what was the welcome like for you last year when it's like, okay, I'm going to help coach you guys, and maybe it's for like what the last 3 to 5 weeks of the season?
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, the welcome was cool. I mean, really, it was a surprise not to know most of the kids, because the time
Mhm.
I spent in college, they was
Yeah.
probably like in seventh grade, and now they was seniors when
Mhm.
for the guys that graduated last year.
Yep.
But the welcome was great. Like, it wasn't hard. Like, I tell them all the time, like, I'm just like you. Like, the things that you want to do, I just want to show you how to do them. So
Mhm.
really, it wasn't hard to connect with them or things like that. And then it was a tough season. We could have did better things as a staff, or and we could have made certain plays here and there. But the welcome was fine. It wasn't like I was a stranger or anything like that at all.
Mhm. I found it intriguing that you said, considering you did play Division I football, you're like, I wasn't the best athlete. I was just very smart. And I find it interesting you say that too. I mean, do you say that to your players even today, where it's like, hey, take it from me, just coming from, I'll say I wasn't the best athlete, but I was very smart. And this is how I was able to play at a high
Mm.
level here and a high level at the next level when it comes to, playing for Villanova and against these other Division I schools. Do you get that message across to your players like, hey, here's like the type of buy-in we need from you in order for you to have this type of success, even if you're
Mhm.
not the best athlete?
Um, really, I'm trying to spread that message across. Like, everybody has their own job. Like, I really believe like no football player is the same football player. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes you got to allow a kid to not align correctly if he's going to do it this way. Like,
Mhm.
some kids you just may have to get that leeway to just go be physical, and then other
Mhm.
guys it's like you lean on them to, like, I need you to be able to get yourself set, and then I need you to be able to get everybody else set. So
Mhm.
really, I've just been trying to preach that message across, that it's room for all of us to eat, as long as I can trust you.
I like that mentality. As far as the community outreach, and I know you mentioned before the top of our conversation how you wanted to give back to your school and give back to the community that you came up through. What does that look like for you guys? Is it simply just like, hey, making your presence known in the community? Looking for maybe doing community aid, or getting the youth football programs up to the high school. What's that look like for you guys?
So really, yeah, like bridging the gap between the Jokers and Pleasantville High School is like one of my main things. I mean,
Hmm.
keeping the kids that live in Pleasantville that can go to Pleasantville High School, I believe like we should be able to keep those kids to play football for our program.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing really is like, yeah, just being a part in the community right now. I mean, I'm working on a fundraiser in the background, but
Hmm.
just being a part of community right now, representing ourselves in the right ways, and just having a good presence. Like, I feel like when I was in high school, and anybody else can agree, like the football team usually brings the city together or the school together or is followed by the football team. So if we
Yeah.
could be successful and be good people, I mean, we could give the community something to be proud of.
When you mentioned that, it's like what you guys want to make a difference in the community, and if you guys set this standard, do you feel like that is a good little trickle down effect to the rest of the athletic department and I guess the student body as a whole? Basically making the high school as one to really elevate the entire community as a whole.
Yeah, really. Yeah, starting this fall. I
Mhm.
mean, I think it's not all about winning, but
Yeah,
it starts with winning football games at the end
yeah.
of the day. Like you win, um, people will be proud of you. And the way I want to win is not by getting like not close wins or like not sweeping things under the rug, like doing everything right.
Mhm.
And then we win in that way. We build good young men, and then the community just the community loves good young men. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree there. All right, so we'll dive into 2025 in just a sec. We'll take a quick break right here. This is Cal One-on-One right here on Cable Atlantic Live.
This broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Jiu-Jitsu. Located in Egg Harbor Township, Harbor Jiu-Jitsu is more than just training. Both adults and kids can gain practical skills that give you real confidence, build physical and mental resilience, and you can join a team that's here to help you grow. Featuring no gi, wrestling, and MMA classes. Harbor Jiu-Jitsu is the most dynamic gym in South Jersey. For more information, check out harborjiujitsu.com.
So you alluded to it already that 2024 was a tough season for Pleasantville. Unfortunately, only just 2-8. Some tight losses. Some hits and misses right there. But just the year before that, 2023, you guys were 8-2, made it to the sectional semifinals. So there has been recent success with this Greyhounds program. Dating back to what Coach Timberlake did, obviously what Coach Sacco did a handful of years before that when you played under him as well. So when you look at, I guess, the recent history of Pleasantville, do you get that message across to your players? It's like, hey, we've been here before. That's where we want to be. And I guess do you combine that with the old adage of, we got to take it one day at a time in order to get back to that type of level?
Really, I haven't been focused on last year or the past. Really, I just been trying to get this group to understand like the senior class or the upperclassmen who we decide to be our leaders. Like, yo, I could do everything in the world for you, and like it's still up to you. Like this is your team. The success rate that we have or where we go this year falls on you. I mean, I'm not gonna tell them that as far as like one player, this, that, or third, but like really where you guys take this thing is how far we go. The more you guys love each other is how far you go. It's really not about plays, it's really about the players. So that's what I've been trying to get across to them, and then telling them taking it one day at a time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Take it one day at a time is the message all the time. But yeah, really just letting them know like it's up to you.
Some of those key guys that are back, we were talking before the show, guys like Nazir Griffin, Jameel Hudson, and Takeish Barnes on offense, and linebackers Tejon Cooper and Tamir Ellis, just some of those guys that really stood out last year, at least stat-wise, made a lot of plays and were high-impact type of players. Look at your team as a collection of talent. You mentioned you allude to the senior class, and I'm sure you have a lot more veterans this year compared to last year. Do you see all these guys, based on what they did last year, a lot more sophomores, so going into their junior year or going into their senior season this year, do you feel like you guys have a more veteran presence on this Pleasantville team this fall?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think my junior class may be the largest of returning guys that played because we did play a lot of young guys last year.
Yeah.
But I think the upperclassmen, like they had a great off season. They put on a lot of weight. As I continue to press on them that this is your team, the young guys will follow after what you do, not what I tell them to do, things like that. Um, they take it and they run with it. I'm seeing a lot of good leaders. Fedlin is a guy you didn't mention, Mark Coley, Samaj Dozier. I mean, I really feel like those three guys are taking the team under the wing. And then Tok and Jamil and who else you mentioned? Tamir and T-John. I mean,
Yep.
playmakers on both sides of the ball coming back, expecting real big things from all four of them, honestly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the weight room is always one of my fascinating questions I love asking coaches. Where I know you weren't named the head coach yet, back in the winter, but
Mhm.
when I maybe you're using your strength and conditioning coaching experience with this as well. What did you see from the weight room this year? As you already mentioned, a couple of guys were really packing on the pounds in terms of muscle, getting bigger,
Mhm.
getting strong, getting faster. What'd you notice about the tenaciousness or the dedication from this team over the course of the winter and spring workouts?
Honestly, so I wasn't around during the spring and winter workouts. I just got back around, but
Mhm.
honestly, since I knew the boys since last year, whoever returned,
Yep.
I can say like they're bigger and stronger, but I also can say like they are more grittier. Like as a collective group, like they do get gritty. So I mean, my whole thing is every set, every rep, spotting each other, no misreps, things like that. And their whole thing is like holding each other accountable. Like, nah,
Mhm.
we doing it like this, or no, this is how you do it. So really, I think the weight room we have adopted some grit from the weight room this off season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I can only imagine you have seen that grit translate to the practice field this summer. And, again, with the season just about a month away at this point, do you see that grittiest or that grittiness now on the football field when you guys are, you're throwing the pads on, throwing the helmets and pads on, all of a sudden it's like, all right, there's a different aura, so to speak, for this team this year.
Yeah, just like I said, I mean, adopting grit and then with the
Mhm.
leaders leading, when we hit the practice field for the hour and 15 that we do
Mhm.
during this training session, during this training segment of the summer,
Yep.
I could see it. I could see like them getting better every day. Just fundamentals and technique, things like that we're trying to focus on right now. And then I could see them like I don't know. I bring the juice every day in practice. Like every
Mhm.
day, I'm pretty juiced up. Like I tell the coaches all the time, like the juice gonna start with us. They just came out the weight room, or
Mhm.
they 16 and they think they got everything in the world going on for them right now. So the juice is gonna start with us. So
Yeah.
I could see them adopting some of that. Like just the energy just been going up collectively well. So
Mhm.
yes.
What can you say about your staff right now? As you just mentioned that you and your staff want to bring the juice to the players. They're all
Mhm.
jazzed up after the weight rooms. They're like, all right, good pump, good workout, time to get on the field. But you guys want to bring it to them as well. What's that like with you and the relationships with the guys on your staff this year?
So really, I think the relationships that I have with my staff this year, like I feel like we're all fairly young when it comes to like coaching. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm 24. I believe Jose Tabor, the offensive coordinator, is about 27. Owen
Yeah.
Bolt's about 27. So really, I feel like we just like we're fairly young, but we got a certain level of maturity about us and just our backgrounds. I mean, all of us played either a high level of football, not either. You go to the next level to play football, it's a blessing. We all played the next level of football. So really I feel like we connected and then it's not like a gap in between as far as like, oh, you like 50 and I'm 24. It's like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
all in the same age range. So it's
Hmm.
good.
You think that kind of gives you an advantage in some sort of fashion where it's like
Hmm.
this is like the new age type of staff and the new age type of football compared to some other staffs where maybe there's a lot of veteran coaches, albeit high level. Some programs have a mix, guys that are maybe around your age, maybe the head coach is older or vice versa. But do you feel like with such a very young staff, you guys might be one of the younger staffs across the entire old school traditional Cape Atlantic League teams.
hmm
What do you make of that?
Um, I don't think we're at a disadvantage. It may be an advantage. I mean, I feel
Mhm.
like I'm connected to the kids in ways that maybe somebody older can't connect to them. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm always honest with the kids, or like that's what you're supposed to do as their role model or someone they could feel like they could trust. So I'm always honest with them. So like I try to always tell them like I'm not too far out and I'm not a dummy. So yeah, I feel like it's cool.
Mhm.
I think one of the things that may be looked at as a disadvantage is like gaining their respect or earning their respect. But really, I feel like if you come out there and be who you're supposed to be every day, they will respect you because at the end of the day, like we are not friends, but we are
Right.
close to age. But it's something like respect is earned throughout. So
Right.
that may be one of the disadvantages, but that's no biggie usually.
Mhm. That makes sense to me. So you guys open up, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are opening up at the end of next month against Asbury Park. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So that opening, I believe that's on is that on a Thursday or Friday for you guys?
No, it's a Friday.
Friday. So Friday, August 29th
29th.
against Asbury Park. That'll be the opener for you guys. That'll be a good one. And of course, standard schedule as you guys try to make a run in Group 2. So Elijah, I appreciate your time, and I'll leave you here with this one. I ask every coach, throughout this entire summer series, just the motto for the team this year. It could be a one word, or is it a phrase that really embodies Pleasantville football? Some coaches change it every year. Some stick to the same script, year to year. Is there a motto or phrase that really sticks out and I guess describes Pleasantville football here in 2025?
So this year, 2025, we just gonna live by I am who I say I am. And I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. You look in the mirror and you say who you are, and then you act upon that. And then we're gonna go with climb, commitment, leadership, intent, mentality, and balance. That's what we're gonna live by this year. I am who I say I am, and climb.
I like that. As long as it's on a T-shirt, right?
Right.
Good phrase on a T-shirt. So Friday, August 29th against Asbury Park, Pleasantville opens up the 2025 season. Elijah Glover, new Pleasantville head coach, with me here on Cal 101. Elijah, I appreciate the time. Good luck this season. Looking forward to watching the Greyhounds here this fall, and I wish you all the success this coming year.
Have a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is Cal 101 right here on Cape Atlantic Live, presented by Ulmer's Appliance Service. We'll see you next time.